My dad has been dead for 10 years. He just picked me up from school like nothing happened. I was 14 when my dad died, heart attack in the garage. He was trying to fix the lawnmower, and I guess he keeled over without a sound. My mom found him an hour later, laid out between the tool chest and the wheelbarrow. I didn't see the body. She wouldn't let me. All I got was the sound of her screaming through the kitchen window, and then the sight of her knees hitting the driveway. That was 10 years ago. I'm 24 now, living a quiet life, apartment in the same town, working at a small IT firm. Mom remarried a few years back. I visit, but it's not the same house, not the same feeling. Dad was the feeling. And then he wasn't. Last Friday started normal. It was hot, nearly 90 degrees even in the morning. I stopped by my old high school to drop something off for my cousin. He'd forgotten his backpack at my place the night before. I pulled into the visitor parking spot, walked through those same glass doors I'd passed through every day as a teenager. Nothing had changed except the paint in the front office. I handed off the bag, exchanged some polite smiles, turned around to leave, and he was standing by my car. My dad, leaning against the passenger door like he used to when he picked me up from school. Aviator sunglasses, gray polo, faded Levi's, and the same wristwatch I buried him in. I froze on the sidewalk, one foot on the curb, staring like my brain couldn't make the pieces fit. He smiled at me. "Took you long enough," he said. I don't remember walking to the car. I just remember sitting in the passenger seat, door closing beside me, and the AC blasting like it always did when he drove in the summer. The dash was exactly the same as his old pickup. Same cracks in the leather, same little humming noise from the air vent. He drove. I watched. The town rolled by like it had 10 years ago. The hardware store, the baseball fields, the gas station where we'd buy peanut M+Ms after practice. He talked like nothing had happened. Asked how work was, said he missed grilling on Sundays, laughed about that time I clogged the upstairs toilet and blamed it on the dog. My voice didn't come out for the first 10 minutes. I just nodded and tried not to throw up. Finally, I said, "You died." He kept driving. "Yeah," he said. "I know." I stared at him, at his hands on the steering wheel, at the way the sun hit the little patch of gray in his sideburns, at the scar on his arm he got helping me build a treehouse. None of it felt off, not a single thing. It was like someone had hit rewind and never told the rest of the world. I said, "How are you here?" He looked over at me, just for a second. That part doesn't matter. We stopped at the lake, same place he used to take me fishing. The water was still, the parking lot was empty. He got out, walked down the old wooden pier, and I followed him because what else was I supposed to do? He sat on the edge, legs dangling over the side. I sat next to him. I could smell the motor oil on his skin, the faint scent of sweat and coffee, and something I could never quite describe but had always known as him. He said, "You've been doing good." I stared at the water. "I don't feel like I have." "You have." He reached into his pocket, pulled out a little silver coin, and flipped it between his fingers. "You're scared a lot, but you keep going anyway." I felt like crying, but I didn't. I just sat there with my dead dad, watching the water ripple and the trees sway in the breeze. He said, "I can't stay. You know that, right?" I nodded. He stood up. I didn't. I couldn't. I just watched his shoes walk back up the dock, heard the creak of the wood behind me. Then I heard the engine start. By the time I made it back to the parking lot, the truck was gone. I stood there a long time. Eventually, I walked back to my car, my real car, not his pickup, and sat there with the key in the ignition. The air was heavy. Everything looked a little too sharp, a little too bright, like the world was trying too hard to be normal. I drove home in silence, no music, no calls. I didn't tell anyone, not even my mom. But I found something in my jacket pocket that night, something I know for a fact wasn't there before. A silver coin, scratched and warm to the touch, just like the one he used to carry for luck.